Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. As you come in, we're going to do a little something a little different. We're starting a little early because we have a real jam-packed program today. So as you're coming in for the next minute, if you'd like, greet somebody you haven't met before and tell them what brings you here today and not your car. Like, why are you here today? We'll take a minute for that. Thanks. Okay. I think I'm here today. Huh? Bonnie? I think I'm here today because we have Ryan Gosling in the house, and my favorite Ryan Gosling. Hi, Ryan. Can you say hello? He's not going to quack when the... Oh. Maybe later. So we're going to do the announcements really quick right now, just because we're going to get these done. So for everybody watching at home, I hope you just took the minute to type in the chat why you're here and what you're hoping to learn today. If you're watching on Facebook, we would ask if you please share what you're watching and let everybody on your friend group know what you're doing. And if you watch on YouTube, we would ask that you please click the follow button on your YouTube account, because YouTube likes to track how many followers we have, not just how many viewers. So thanks for everybody that's coming in online. We don't have a flower dedication today, but if we did, if you'd like to dedicate the flowers, you can do that. You just let us know at office@venturacsl.org, and we'll get those flowers dedicated for you. Let's see. Last week we had our blood drive. Thank you so much for everybody who turned out. We had a great turnout, and the Red Cross thanks everybody who gave, and thanks the VCSL community for supporting them and sponsoring those blood drives every quarter. Today is the last day to sign up for Gourmets for God, to host a party. So if you would like to host a Gourmets for God party, please come see me after service in the social hall. And if you're not here, if you're online and you didn't make it today, just shoot me a quick email at jennifergh@venturacsl.org, and I'll make sure your party gets put on the booklets for bidding next week. If you're wondering why we have all of these bunnies, we are collecting bunnies to be shipped off to Asheville for a trauma center in Asheville, North Carolina, to one of our other CSL communities. That's why we're collecting bunnies. This Thursday is Holy Thursday, and you can join Reverend Bonnie at the Church of the Foothills, which is an open and affirming church, for their Holy Thursday ceremony and celebration. Coming up classes, I'm teaching spiritual principles and practices it's for 6 Thursdays and 6 Fridays in person and 6 Fridays on Zoom, and that starts April 4th. If you're interested in taking this class, come let me know. It's a fantastic class to get a good spiritual foundation to meditating, to praying, to all of the other spiritual practices, and then not only what you're doing, but why you're doing it, hence the principles. So it's a good class, not just because I'm teaching it. Anyway. Self-Hypnosis for Success workshop is coming up April 14th from noon to 1, so that's a Sunday, so after service. So come learn the very powerful self-hypnosis technique that you can use on your own whenever you want. Yeah, Ryan? Yeah, you can self-hypnotize yourself. I didn't know that either. So come sign up for that online or in the social hall. Another class is being taught by the wonderful Reverend Susan Burrell, who is in the house here. She's teaching a class 6 Mondays in person and 6 Tuesday mornings if you're going to do it on Zoom, and that starts on April 15th. In this class, you will learn about the 13 universal laws and corresponding rays of light that assist in transforming stuck energy and emotions so that you can manifest the life you want. And this class is great for all levels of wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or all the way up to a minister or coaching. Everybody's going to get something from this class. And if you've ever taken a class from Reverend Susan, you know that she is amazing. And if you've never taken a class from Susan, you really should sign up because she's amazing. So I'm a little biased. She was definitely one of my teachers that got me to where I am today. So thank you, Reverend Susan. Let's see, choir rehearsal today after service starts at 11:30, and it goes from 11:30 to 12:30, and they meet downstairs in Martha's Hall. Oh, they're meeting in the sanctuary today from 11:30 to 12:30. Ooh, you get to be up here on the stage. How's that? So if you want to join the choir, see Mary. She'll get you set up. After service options, we have hospitality back here. So there's coffee, tea, some snacks. And if you are looking for a gateway volunteer position, this is where I started, in hospitality. We need volunteers for hospitality, and you can start today by helping do dishes after service, so helping clean up. But hospitality is a great way to serve. It's a great way to get to meet people, and it's a great way to contribute to our community. So hospitality after service. More after service possibilities. If you would like to pray with a practitioner, the practitioners have white stoles on, and if you have something that you're celebrating or you're working through or questions about the service, meet with a practitioner after service. And that is all I have. So have a great service, and I'm going to hand it over to Reverend Bonnie.
Hey, kiddo. I know. I hear you. What are you thinking? You going to take a class? Okay, then. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Great to see you here today. We are doing a special ritual this morning to welcome some of our new members. Well, anybody who's a new member. I have a list. However, if you missed your ceremony and you want to come on stage, then come on up. We're going to do that right now in lieu of the children's service. So come on up, new members. Yay! Okay. Yeah. There. Yes, absolutely. Pretty exciting, right? Yeah. Honestly, I really should be standing over there, but I wanted to be by the goose, so there's that. You know, he's a new member too, or he's an honorary member, so that's why he's here. Okay, so we're welcoming new members, and today I'm going to read a statement of commitment and vows to you, okay? You too. All right, so today you acknowledge publicly that you are a member of the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. In your commitment to your spiritual center, do you promise to do your best to be love? That is loving yourself and others, even when it is challenging to do so?
I do.
Do you promise to do your best to share love, that is growing the love in this community through your active support and participation?
I do.
Well, okay, good, okay. Do you promise to do your best to serve love by being an instrument of love here and in the world? If so, please say I do. Do you aspire to be a center of love wherever you are?
I do.
I'm going to ask Reverend Karen to read a little something for us. There you go. My pleasure. Yes.
Hello, is this on?
Yes.
At this point, I would like to ask the congregation to pledge their support of the new members by saying, well, not by saying, will everyone please rise, but would everyone please rise? Okay. Okay. Do you promise to honor these new members in our spiritual center community by being a center of love for them, being love in their presence and elsewhere, sharing love with them in joys and sorrows, and serving the highest love in the collective community?
We do.
Thank you. Thank you. That was lovely. So now we have certificates and some gifts to give to the new members. In acknowledgement of the commitment you have just made to the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living, we present you with a certificate of membership and some gifts from the center, including a gift certificate for a free practitioner session. Yippee.
So y'all, you can get your gifts after the service, okay? They're right behind the table, behind the bunnies, okay? Okay. My pleasure. No, you're not done yet. Oh, goodness. So Karen, shall I?
So we bless and announce our new members. Mari Zachary Lyon,
And we don't need to applaud after everyone.
Bob Lyon, Jessica Lunetta, Liz Galvin, Garrett Hadris, Deborah Schreiber, Gordon Hodgson, Martha Mutz, David Fatisa, Peter Waring, Donna Butler, Rebecca and Asher Lizargara, Lisa Hamlin, Ryan Gosling, Tina's goose. So, and if I forgot anybody, just know that you're not forgotten at all. I just didn't have you on the list.
Okay, thank you,
So-
Karen. So, thanks. All right. All right. So, by the way, when you, just a bit of bit of logistics here. When you pick up your presents, there is one that is distinctly Asher's, okay? has like a book in it for him, so there's that. So afterwards, you'll get your gifts, and now I'm going to just tell you a brief story about membership, okay? So there's a story that I tell at every membership ceremony, and it goes like this. There was a little girl who was lost in her hometown, and she was young. She was wandering around. She couldn't find her way back to her house. So the police officers picked her up, and they said, "We'll take you home. Just show us where to go." And so they turned this way and that way and the other way, and then all of a sudden, the girl looked out the window of the police car, and she said, "Oh, there's my church. You can drop me off here, because once I've found my church, I can always find my way home." It is my sacred honor to welcome you as part of this spiritual community where we have a goose on the stage for no reason whatsoever, other than the joy of it. So may you find love, joy, peace, happiness, that and so much more. May you find your innate wholeness, and may you expand in that knowing for yourself and ripple it out to the world. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Namaste. And now we're going to call the children forward, gently forward, to be up here, and we'll sing "You Are the Face of God" to both the members and the youth, okay? All right. That's right. Okay. You come sit on the stage. There you go, like you always do. There you go. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right, you are the face of God. Here we go. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. Thank you, new members. You may be seated. There's a little poopy on the floor. You saw that? Okay. All righty. So the youth are going to Youth and Family, and I believe Ryan is going with them, right? Yeah. There you go, Mr. Ryan had a little accident, but no worries. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Okay, good job. Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, Ryan. He's a good boy. That was fine either way. That way more people can see him walk. We'll just make sure you're not upstaged by the goose. Bye, Ryan. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Please join me in prayer. And will the practitioners and ministers please stand? Placing your hands on your heart if that's comfortable. How grateful I am to pray for the beautiful unfolding of this service and of this day. I'm so grateful to know that I am one with God. And as I know this for myself, I know this for everyone here, everyone who's listening at home, and everyone who will watch later on YouTube. How grateful I am to know that the power and presence of God is unfolding in and through my life. And as I know this for me, I know this for everyone. With spring unfolding all around us, I know that spring is unfolding within us. New beginnings, a blossoming and a blooming of our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. And with this energy of spring, we are all blessed as we come together to worship, to pray, to sing, to be with each other. So I'm so grateful for the beautiful unfolding of this service, of our music today, of Bonnie's message, of having a duck or a goose on stage. How beautiful it is to have joy rippling through our lives. So with a heart that is full of joy for all of this and for the beauty that's unfolding in each of us, I release my word to the divine mystery. It is done, it is perfect, it is complete. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Lita. And Karen. And so we breathe in deeply. We allow ourselves to be. We recognize that beautiful presence that drew us here today to sit in this beautiful sanctuary filled with joy, filled with love. And we settle deeper into the eternal self as we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
For longing, from To Bless the Space Between Us by John Donahue. Blessed be the longing that brought you here and quickens your soul with wonder. May you have the courage to listen to the voice of desire that disturbs you when you have settled for something safe. May you have the wisdom to enter generously into your own unease, to discover the new direction your longing wants you to take. May the forms of your belonging in love, creativity, and friendship be equal to the grandeur and call of your soul. May the one you long for you. May your dreams gradually reveal the destination of your desire. May a secret providence guide your thought and nurture your feeling. May your mind inhabit your life with the sureness with which your body inhabits the world. May your heart never be haunted by ghost structures of old damage. May you come to accept your longing as divine urgency. May you know the urgency with which God longs for you. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
And so knowing the divine calling of love, the love that abides within us, the love that is who we are, Let us together remember who we are as we sing together, I am remembering who I am. We sing this for ourselves, but we also sing it for all beings everywhere, for the rocks, for the trees, for the moss, for the stars, for every particle of the cosmos. Together we sing, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who Living in the remembrance of divine love, let us breathe in deeply and then exhale, gently opening our eyes as love and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
Choosing my steps carefully there. Good morning. I'm Reverend Karen Mitchell, those of you who don't know me, and this is my husband, Kevin Crehan. Thank you, Reverend Bonnie, for asking Kevin to be part of service today. Kevin was born and raised in Ireland and comes from a musical family of traditional Irish music. So he's going to be playing traditional Irish fiddle today. This is not a traditional Irish instrument that I have here. We like to call what we do together the Celtic ashram. You know, there are actually harmoniums on traditional Irish music records from long ago, weirdly. I don't know how they got there, but. So we're in this season. We've got this Lent going on. We've got Ramadan going on. We've got Easter coming up. We've had the Celtic pagan Imbolc, which is, all of that gestation under the surface. We're going from winter to spring, right? We're going to take you on a musical journey from winter to spring. I invite each of you to bless and release the darkness, bless and release any sorrow, grief, whatever doesn't serve you, walking into the light of spring, just let it go. This is a safe place to let it go, right? So we're going to let that go together. And then we're going to bring you out into the light of spring, okay? You with me? You can close your eyes if you like. Take a deep breath with me now. And just let it all go. Plant your feet on Mother Earth. Feel supported. Unclench. Relax your face. I know I'm always going. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. Okay. Flow of air. Okay. All right. All there is, all there is love, and that is who we are. All beings everywhere, all held in the arms of love. And so I bless, and so I bless and release all that does not serve me. And so it is. can stand up, shake off that winter blues, and dance around if you want to. Yeah, there you go, Lita. Eek! Kevin Crehan.
What a Sunday, right? Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So today I'm speaking about the blessing of belonging. The blessing of belonging. And the way that I decided to structure this talk was to take 3 quotes from the reading that Hugh did and speak just a little bit about these 3 quotes. The first quote is, "May you know the urgency with which God longs for you." Was anybody here raised believing that God urgently longed for you? Maybe not. But mystics have been saying that for years. Rumi says, I belong to the beloved. I belong to the beloved. Meister Eckhart says, God is at home. It is we who have gone out for a walk. My invitation for each of us today is to remember that God is always at home. God is always at home within our hearts. And yes, we can turn our attention away from that. We can look at what is wrong with the world, or we can look at what is wrong with ourselves. But God is always at home. It is we who have gone out for a walk. I want to tell you a story about Disneyland, sort of. It's a story that I read online, and it's a man who he and his wife adopted a young girl, a girl about 8 years old. And this girl had sadly been born and given up for adoption, and then a family adopted her, and they gave her back. It wasn't a good fit for their family, and they had to give her back. And one of the things that her new father, her most recent father, heard about her time with this middle family that she was with was that every time the family went to Disneyland, they left this adopted daughter at home with friends or with relatives. Now it gets better, okay? It gets happier. Because when the new father heard this, he was determined to bring his entire family to Disneyland. He said, next time I'm in Southern California for a speaking engagement, y'all are coming to Disneyland with me. Well, the time came. He got a speaking engagement in Southern California, and he promised his children that they would go to Disneyland. This unleashed a torrent of horrible behavior in his adopted daughter. He said that she lied when she didn't have to lie, that she stole food when she could have just asked for it, that she developed great skill in creating caustic barbs to torture her brothers and sisters with. And he said, what is going on here? And so he took his daughter aside and he said, let's have a little talk. What's going on? And she said something to the effect of, well, probably now I won't get to go to Disneyland. Now, the father said that he resisted the urge to leverage Disneyland and say, if you shape up, you can, but he didn't do that. All he said to her was, are we a family? And she said, yes. And then he asked, are you part of this family? And she said, yes. He said, of course we're going to Disneyland because you are part of this family. They went to Disneyland. Again, the father wished that he could have said that it was a beautiful experience, but it was very costly. There were long lines. There was a lot of sugar consumed. And there were giant rodents inhabiting the premises. I'm talking about Mickey Mouse, folks, okay? But he said that when he got home with his family, he was tucking in his adopted daughter. And he said, "So how was your first trip to Disneyland?" And he said that her eyes filled with tears. And she said, "You know what? I didn't go because I was good. I got to go because I'm yours. I'm yours." And that is the relationship that we have with the divine. We belong to the beloved. God has never taken a walk. God has never left us. It is we who have walked away, right? Love urgently longs for you, longs to express through you, as each of you. And it's hard to see, isn't it? I was listening to something this morning, and it said that trying to see the divine is like trying to see your eye with your own eye. You try that now? I can't. How about trying to bite your teeth with your own teeth? Try that now. Y'all are so cute. You're all out there like, maybe I'm the only one. And that's because God is infinite subject, right? God is the infinite subject. In order to see, in order to bite, we need to have something to bite, but there is nothing but God. So it's challenging to see God, with the indwelling presence. It's challenging to see the love when we are part of that love. This is from Tosha Silver, who says, "Divine beloved, I am yours, you are mine, we are one, all is well." And that's true. Divine love urgently seeks your life as an outlet for its expression. The next quote that I have is this, from John O'Donohue. "May you have the courage to listen to the voice of desire that disturbs you when you have settled for something safe." You know how safe it is to be in familiar territory, to be in certainty, in a state of certainty. And the reason that I have lovebirds up there is that I've heard a rumor, and I've actually experienced this, that lovebirds may not actually be completely loving. I researched this on the internet because I recall from having lovebirds and also having been around a bird store a lot when I lived in New York, that lovebirds are extremely aggressive and territorial when it comes to other birds. They do okay with some types of birds, but many birds they do not like. There is safety in sameness. It is true that birds of a feather stick together. That's not just a saying, it is true in nature. I was down at the beach yesterday, and the pelicans were flying in one flock, and the seagulls were flying in another flock. Birds of a feather stick together. Now, the difference between us and birds, chances are no one here is going to poop on the stage. No, sorry. That just slipped out, she said. Okay. Anyway, one of the differences between us and birds is that we are called to override our biology and respect and honor those who are different, those that we might call the other. Last summer, our center participated in the Pride Festival. Lovely event, wonderful volunteers. It was so much fun. And when I went to volunteer, I noticed that there were people around the gates of the Pride Festival praying and holding signs. Now, they weren't aggressive, but they were there. And the old Bonnie, well, from years ago, I would have kind of wanted to mess with them. I would have wanted to put on a very gay outfit and mess with them. That's me and the minister. We're having Holy Thursday, by the way. That's John Forrest, and we were goofing around pretending to pray, wearing feather boas. It happens. Anyway, I would have wanted to mess with them, but I thought, well, they think differently than me, and maybe there's something that I'm not seeing here. And so in any situation, I can ask myself, we can ask ourselves, is my habitual reaction to the perceived other, somebody who seems other than me, somebody who thinks differently than me, somebody who might act differently than me, is that settling for something safe? It's interesting that aggression and anger and putting people in their place and telling people what you think and that they ought to think that too, that is often something safe. And it's true, yes, we speak truth to power, but how do we speak truth to power? We do it in a loving way, and we do it with empathy. We do it with kindness, and we recognize the potential for something greater to be born out of the conflict, out of the differences of opinion. Divine love not only urgently longs to be one with us, divine love urgently longs for the other, to be one with the other. Is it possible that there is anything, any person, any place that lives outside of the realm of God? One of my friends, Edward Viljoen, another minister, says you have to believe one or the other. God is not all there is, or God is all there is. Which one is it? God is all there is. So we can ask ourselves, how might I move from the safety of sameness into the perception of wholeness in all? One of the things that I help people recognize is that it's very much like the yin-yang symbol. The dark and the light complement each other. The red and the blue complement each other. And we can be that perimeter that embraces the whole of it, that seeks understanding of opposing opinions and opposing ways of being in the world, seeking compassion. And the reason that I often offer this to people is not to put anybody in their place, not to tell anybody that they're wrong, but to understand that what we've been doing so far doesn't always seem to work so well. I want love and peace and kindness for everyone. And if we're trying to drive out anger with anger, if we're trying to drive out hate with hate, I don't think it's going to work. So to co-create a better world, we step into that wholeness, we move past the appearance of opposites, and we sit in that perimeter as that perimeter that embraces all points of view. Quote number 3, may the forms of your belonging be equal to the grandeur and the call of your soul. May the forms of your longing, forms of your belonging, be equal to the grandeur and the call of your soul. I have a picture of sandals up here, flip-flops, because I want to retell a story that I heard when I was in India in 2018. And this story continues to follow me around. It's like a parable from the gospel, according to Bonnie. It follows me everywhere I go, and I think about it almost every day. And this is a story, some of you have heard it, that when I was at the Gandhi ashram, I heard a story that was told by a woman who pretty much runs this huge organization called Teach for India that improves the lives of children from all over India. And she said that she had brought a group to the Gandhi ashram, and before you go into the ashram, you have to take off your shoes. So the children took off their shoes and they flung them everywhere. There were unruly piles of shoes all over the front porch of the ashram. And this man, who is a steward of the ashram, his name is Jayesh Bai, he came and he just arranged the shoes in nice little neat rows. And the teacher said, you shouldn't be doing that. The children need to learn. They need to learn to be respectful of other people's property. They need to learn that this is a sacred place. And Jayesh just said, no, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. And then the children came back. And again, they flung their shoes all over the place. And Jayesh took the shoes, told the teacher to just be with the children, lined them up in neat little piles, neat little rows. This happened several times, and then one day, the children, on their own, lined up the shoes. How did they know to do that? How did they know? What I like to think, too, is that those children lined up their shoes, and it was kind of like the 100 monkey theory, right? Where the monkey washes their food, and then all the monkeys all over the world start washing their food. I don't know if that's happened yet. But why did the children line up their shoes? Some of it, I think, was that it was like a murmuration. In Service Space, which is a service organization to which I belong, and which a lot of people in our center are involved with it's a global service organization. They talk a lot about the murmuration of starlings. You know that that's not a giant bird, right? That's a bunch of birds making a picture of a giant bird by flying in formation. The story goes, I don't know if this is true or not, but the story goes that the birds saw a really big bird, so they decided to join together and make a bigger bird that would scare that big bird away so it wouldn't hurt them. And I think about that. One bird has the idea, then the next bird has it, then the next bird has it, then the next bird has it. This bird over here starts seeing the other birds making this formation. The fifth bird from the left wants to be part of that too, so he jumps in. And I think that might have been that way with the children. The children lining up their shoes. One child did it, another child saw it, another child saw it, another child saw it, and then it caught on, so that a beautiful picture of lined up shoes was created. The message of the story for me is that Jayesh, when he was lining up all of those shoes, he was nurturing conditions for a spontaneous emergence of goodwill. Well, that's a challenging concept because it's not something that we do naturally. We want to rush in and fix things, right? Anybody? Show of pinkies, show of hands. Who wants to rush in and fix stuff, okay? Right. Yeah, we want to rush in and fix things. But what if, in addition to that, because sometimes it is necessary, what if in addition to that we could spend some time focusing on nurturing conditions for sacred emergence? And by sacred emergence, I mean something coming through that is greater than we could have imagined, something like that murmuration of starlings. One of the ways that we can nurture conditions for emergence is to see the potential for grandeur. Whether it's in the children we're raising, our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, our friends, our neighbors, the people who think differently for us, see the potential for grandeur. See the potential for lining up the shoes in a respectful manner. See the potential for creating something magnificent. Another thing, kind of regret that I put this up here today. Practice non-attachment. I'm talking more about this next week a bit, but for now, let us just know that non-attachment is a really, really, really powerful tool. Our separate self, our ego will say, "Are you kidding me? We gotta make it happen, folks." Not so much. Non-attachment, trusting the divine, putting the ego out of the driver's seat is a beautiful thing. One of the things that I love so much about Jayesh lining up the shoes is that he just did it with the intention of service. He wasn't trying to fix the children. He just wanted to create something beautiful. He did not have an ego-shaped attachment as to how things should look for the children's lives. He just did it to create something respectful and beautiful, without attachment to them changing in his timeline. I'm not familiar with that concept, so I'll have to get back to you on that. And that requires trust. Trust in the love that is longing for each of us. Trust in the love that is seeking expression, that hidden treasure that longs to be known through every single detail of our life, even the shoes that we line up. We trust in love. And allowing ripening in its divine time. It's part of what Joel Goldsmith says. Joel Goldsmith is a mystical teacher. He says, yes, absolutely, pray for what you want, but allow it to ripen as the conditions become right for its ripening. I'm squirming because this is not so familiar to me. You're supposed to practice what you preach, I've heard, and I'm going to try really hard, okay? My recommendation is that we start small. For those of you who are new here, I usually put up this picture when I'm talking about myself, okay? Because she's like my identical cousin now that I'm of a certain age. Mama from the Addams family. And she's so happy, right? She's so happy about throwing those knives. Well, I think it's funny. I don't know about y'all, but okay. Anyway, starting small. The other night, I wanted to control something really badly. Well, really like 10 things, but I'm just going to tell you about one. Okay, I wanted to control an interaction. I was at a gathering. It was a teaching thing with Dr. Brock Travis, who was sitting in our balcony. And he was asking questions. He asked a few questions, and nobody was raising their hand at first. And I'm like, well, I can talk about anything. I'm going to raise my hand and say something. But then somebody jumped in. Somebody jumped in, and they gave an answer. But then somebody else asked a question. And there was this moment of silence where people didn't know what to say. Now, my inner 2-year-old is like, oh, 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 oh. Inner second grader, probably, more like that. A 2-year-old would probably just do it, right? Inner second grader was saying, okay, I know the answer to this. I know the answer. And then my inner man who lines up the shoes just said, wait, tend the conditions. Tend the conditions. Create conditions for the emergence of the other. Short way of saying that is keep your big mouth shut, everybody. And I did. I waited. I didn't say anything. And then this sweet young man came up with a beautiful answer based on his own insight and his own life experience. And we all got to learn from that. Now, I'll admit, part of me was like, that young whippersnapper stole my answer. Because he said almost what I was going to say, but he said it better. And then I relaxed, and I remembered the shoes, and I said, all is well. All is well because all is well. Life is a beautiful mystery that we get to have. And we get to have it right here together. We just invoked these beautiful new members into the center. We all made the promise to be that center of love, to be love, share love, serve love. And we can practice tending the emergence of the greatness of each of us here at Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. Can you look around this room and see the potential for grandeur in the people sitting by you? Can you go into the social hall? I see people looking at each other. That's so cute. Can you go into the social hall after the service and see the potential for grandeur? See the potential for grace and goodness and wonder and goodwill pouring out of these people that we share food with. Can we practice devoted non-attachment? Oh, can we be that place where people can show up as they are? And yes, if they cross boundaries, of course we have to put up certain boundaries. But if we can be that place where people show up as they are, it's funny, something happens. The boundaries start taking care of themselves. And people start loving one another in a more mature and dedicated manner. And can we be patient? Oh my goodness, can we be patient and trust in love's emergence in its own time, whatever evolves for this center? You know, sometimes when newer ministers talk to me, they talk to me about how their churches aren't growing and they're so disappointed and they're doing something wrong. And I often will say to them, you know what? I don't think the size of your church matters that much, because you never know. You never know if you're speaking to 10 people, one of those 10 people might be the next Martin Luther King, the next Gandhi, and you will be the source of inspiration for that person. And no one may ever know that, but you will know. You will know that that person was once a blessing to you as you were a blessing to them. So we're patient. We trust in love's emergence to see what murmuration can come forth from this beautiful community. Let us affirm together. I ask you to read this with me, and here we go. Divine beloved, I am yours, you are mine, we are one, and all is well. And so it is. Thank you. We say that to the divine love, God. We also say it to the divine sitting beside us. Divine beloved, I am yours, you are mine, we are one, and all is well. And so it is. Let us pray. Okay. So we turn within to trust and know that power and presence of divine love, that place that longs for us as we long for it, that place that welcomes us as we welcome it, that beautiful, beautiful power and presence that we are one with right now. That we enter into the heart of the divine as it enters into our heart, and we trust it and know it as our own. That we belong to the beloved, that we are here right now living the life of God in every single detail and duty of our lives. Every joy, every sorrow, everything. Everything is divine love. And so today, we welcome that. We allow it to transform us. We allow our conditions to be such that it can flourish and thrive through grace and non-attachment, through seeing the good in others, through all of the things that have been said, this and so much more, we allow this transformation to occur. We encourage it to occur so that we can create a beautiful world that works for all. How wonderful it is to know this truth and to abide in it, by it, as it. I give thanks for it. I give thanks for this time together. I give thanks for this service. And I give thanks for the transformation that I know is happening in each of us individually and happening as a community. I bless all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams. And with a heart that is so grateful, I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and namaste.
Thank you, Bonnie.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I love that word emergence.
Yeah.
You know, I always think of our center prior COVID, before COVID, after, but before we would do a lot of visioning for the center and the growth. And, you know, community was one of the core values that we came up with. And, you know, over and over, community kindness would come up. And I have to say, I never envisioned during that time an explosion of bunnies on the altar in an appropriate way.
Right.
Ryan Gosling sharing of himself on this altar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't come to mind.
No.
It
It's amazing
didn't.
what God can do.
It is amazing. And so, gosh, as we are emerging and blessing and bringing more people into our community, who knows what can happen?
That's right.
All things are possible.
Yes.
So this morning, in that spirit of community and belonging, because you belong, I invite you to place your offering over your heart and repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
You know, it wouldn't be a Reverend Bonnie talk in true nature without the word poop. It's just my favorite. That's my favorite. That's my go-to word when it's, you know, stressing out and I'm not doing all the things you said I'm supposed to do. Okay. So we go from the Celtic ashram to Garth Brooks. You know, Garth sells out the huge stadium in Dublin over and over and over. They love him over there. They love him over there. And as soon as I heard this song and the title of Bonnie's talk, I just knew we had to do it. So we're doing it together because we belong to each other. So repeat after me. We belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. And y'all are going to sing it with me on the choruses, okay? All right. Kevin's going to join us too, and the fabulous Chris. Okay. Ain't no wall can divide us, no matter how high. Ain't no storm can untie us, for all it may try. We're all leaves on the same tree, under one sky. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. We belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love It's whispered on the wind to all living things. It's in every sunrise. It's what the lovebirds sing. It shines in newborn eyes and faces lined and worn. It's the tie that binds us all, and it won't be torn. We belong to each other. Sing it out. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. Yeah. We are ancient stars turned flesh and bone. We're all travelers on that bus ride home. Yeah, we laugh and cry. Yes, we rise and fall. You know, we fuss and fight, but through it all, we belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. Now let's hear what y'all sound like. Keep going, here we go. We belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. Now sing it to your neighbors all around you. Here we go. We belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. Yeah, we belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. One last time, here we go now. We belong to each other. We are sister and brother, born to love one another. 'Cause we're all leaves on the same tree, waves on the same sea. We belong to each other.
So we all made it. We all made it. I'm going to close this out with our affirmation. So if everyone will do this with me, and we're going to start with, we are love. We share love. We serve love. In every part of our lives. Thank you for our lives. And so it is. Namaste.